The Austin-Healey 3000 represents the final and most mature expression of the Big Healey concept. Introduced in 1959 as the BN7 and BT7, and evolving through multiple mechanical and structural revisions until 1967, it was never intended to be a refined grand tourer. Instead, it remained fundamentally a robust, high-capacity roadster shaped by pragmatic engineering and competitive ambition. The 3000 is built around a steel ladder frame chassis, derived from earlier Austin-Healey designs and ultimately rooted in Austin saloon architecture. The frame consists of longitudinal rails connected by crossmembers, with limited torsional rigidity by modern standards. This was a conscious compromise, prioritizing simplicity, manufacturability, and cost over structural sophistication. Wheelbase and track dimensions were carried over largely unchanged from the earlier 106. This continuity reflects the evolutionary nature of the Big Healey program. Rather than redesigning the platform, engineers focused on incremental improvements while retaining compatibility with existing tooling. Body construction is conventional for the period. Steel panels are mounted to the chassis with minimal structural integration. There is no stress skin behavior. The body contributes little to overall rigidity. As a result, chassis flex is an inherent characteristic, particularly noticeable on uneven surfaces or during hard cornering. The open roadster body, with minimal reinforcement compared to closed cars, exacerbates this behavior. Door gaps change under load, and scuttle shake is present, especially on early cars. Later revisions introduced modest reinforcement, but the fundamental architecture remained unchanged. Suspension layout reflects conservative British practice. Independent front suspension uses unequal length wishbones with coil springs, while the rear employs a solid axle located by semi-elliptic leaf springs. This combination favors durability and predictability over ride sophistication. Steering geometry emphasizes stability rather than precision. Steering effort is relatively heavy at low speeds, particularly with wide front tires, but becomes more manageable once underway. The Big Healey chassis was never engineered for finesse. It was designed to survive poor roads, enthusiastic driving, and competition use without frequent failure. Structural compromise was accepted as the price of robustness and affordability. Body mounting relies on simple attachment points with limited isolation. Noise, vibration, and harshness are transmitted directly into the cabin, reinforcing the car's raw, mechanical character rather than masking it. At the heart of the Austin-Healey 3000 is a 2.9-liter inline-six engine, commonly referred to as the C-Series. This engine defines the car's identity more than any other component. Unlike high-revving European sports engines, the C-Series prioritizes displacement and torque. The engine features a cast iron block and head, with overhead valves actuated by pushrods. Compression ratios and tuning varied throughout production, particularly as the car evolved through the MK-I, MK2, and MK3 phases. Power output figures increased modestly over time, but the defining characteristic remained torque. Peak torque arrives at relatively low engine speeds, giving the 3000 its muscular, effortless acceleration once underway. Fuel delivery initially relied on twin SU carburetors, later replaced by triple SU units in performance-oriented variants. Carburation changes improved breathing and top-end power, but did not fundamentally alter the engine's torque-centric nature. Cooling capacity is generous, reflecting the engine's thermal demands. Overheating can occur in traffic or hot climates, but under open road conditions the system is generally stable. The gearbox evolved significantly during the model's lifespan. Early cars used a 4-speed manual without overdrive, while later versions adopted electrically actuated overdrive on 3rd and 4th gears. This addition dramatically improved high-speed usability. Overdrive transforms the 3000's character. Without it, the engine feels busy at speed. With it, the car becomes more relaxed, extending its effective touring range without altering mechanical fundamentals. Clutch operation is heavy but durable. Gear selection is deliberate rather than precise, reflecting the gearbox's robust rather than refined design. Power is transmitted to a live rear axle via a conventional drive shaft. Differential ratios favor acceleration over relaxed cruising, again emphasizing performance over comfort. Braking systems evolved throughout production. Early drum brakes were adequate for period performance, but marginal under sustained use. Later cars adopted front disc brakes, significantly improving stopping consistency. Mechanical simplicity defines the Austin-Healey 3000. Components are oversized, stresses are conservative, and serviceability is prioritized over refinement. This philosophy made the car popular with both private owners and competition drivers. Mechanical noise is ever present. Intake roar, exhaust note, and drivetrain vibration are not suppressed, forming a central part of the driving experience. The interior of the Austin-Healey 3000 reflects its origins as a sports roadster, shaped more by mechanical necessity than by comfort or refinement. It is functional, sparse, and unapologetically focused on driving rather than accommodation. Seating is low and relatively firm. Cushioning provides basic support, but lateral restraint is limited, particularly in early cars. This reflects both period expectations and the car's underlying chassis behavior, which discourages abrupt directional changes despite its power. The driving position is offset slightly, with pedals and steering wheel aligned to the chassis rather than the driver's centerline. This asymmetry is noticeable but quickly becomes familiar. Steering wheel diameter is large, reducing effort but limiting knee clearance. Instrumentation is minimal. Gauges typically include speedometer, tachometer, oil pressure, water temperature, and fuel level. Readability is good, but the information presented is strictly mechanical. There is no attempt to provide comfort or convenience data. Switchgear is basic and utilitarian. Toggle switches and pull controls dominate, often arranged by wiring convenience rather than ergonomic logic. Operation requires familiarity rather than intuition. Weather protection is limited. Side windows are simple, sealing is inconsistent, and the fabric top offers modest insulation. Wind noise and air movement are constant companions, reinforcing the car's identity as a fair-weather machine. The interior should be understood as an extension of the chassis philosophy. It does not isolate the driver from vibration, noise, or mechanical awareness. Instead, it places the driver directly within the car's operating environment. Ergonomic compromise is a recurring theme inside the Austin-Healey 3000. Limited footwell space, offset pedals, and steering column intrusion are not accidental flaws, but consequences of packaging a large inline-six within a compact, ladder-frame roadster. The interior adapts around the mechanical layout rather than reshaping it. Cabin heat management is another defining characteristic. Engine and exhaust heat migrate directly into the cockpit, particularly during low-speed driving. This affects comfort but also reinforces the car's mechanical immediacy, reminding the driver of the engine's physical presence just ahead of the bulkhead. Exterior visibility is strong to the front and sides, but rearward awareness is limited. The low seating position and small mirrors require anticipation rather than reactive driving, further shaping how the car is used on the road. Externally, the Austin-Healey 3000 presents a muscular, purposeful appearance. The long hood visually emphasizes engine capacity, while the short rear deck reinforces acceleration and power rather than balance or elegance. Body proportions remained largely unchanged throughout production, with detail revisions distinguishing MK-I, MK2, and MK3 variants. Chrome trim increased over time, particularly on later MK3 cars, reflecting shifting market expectations rather than structural change. The exterior communicates strength rather than sophistication. It projects mechanical confidence, not aerodynamic efficiency or luxury aspiration. Evaluating an Austin-Healey 3000 requires understanding both its production methods and its typical usage history. These cars were often driven hard, raced, or modified, and originality is frequently compromised. Original paint finishes were single-stage enamels. These finishes provide depth but limited durability. Aging commonly appears as fading, oxidation, and surface cracking, particularly on horizontal panels exposed to heat and sunlight. Chassis inspection should begin underneath. Rust is a primary concern in frame rails, outriggers, suspension mounting points, and rear spring pickups. Structural corrosion directly affects handling and alignment. Body panels offer limited structural contribution, but their condition reveals usage history. Poor door gaps, uneven bonnet alignment, and cracked paint often indicate chassis flex or past accident damage. The open body design places additional stress on the scuttle and bulkhead areas. These regions should be inspected carefully for fatigue, cracking, or reinforcement plates added during past repairs. Mechanical inspection should focus on engine oil pressure, cooling system efficiency, and carburetor balance. The C-Series engine is durable but intolerant of overheating or prolonged neglect. Gearbox and overdrive condition are critical. Worn sinker mesh, noisy bearings, or inconsistent overdrive engagement significantly affect usability. Electrical systems are simple but often modified. Aging wiring insulation, non-original switches, and improvised repairs are common. A correct inspection workflow prioritizes structural integrity and mechanical health over cosmetic condition. A visually attractive 3000 may conceal serious chassis fatigue or drivetrain wear. Over-restoration is also a risk. Excessive cosmetic refinement, modern interiors, or heavy sound insulation can obscure the car's original mechanical character without improving its fundamental behavior. Suspension should be evaluated alongside chassis condition. Worn bushings, tired leaf springs, and misaligned wishbones amplify chassis flex and can exaggerate the car's already busy road behavior. A structurally sound frame paired with neglected suspension components will still drive poorly. Fastener condition offers valuable insight into a car's history. Rounded bolt heads, mixed hardware types, or non-period fasteners often indicate repeated disassembly, competition use, or unresolved mechanical issues rather than careful maintenance. Fuel system condition is frequently overlooked. Aging fuel tanks, contaminated lines, and worn carburetor internals can undermine drivability even when the engine itself appears healthy. Proper inspection requires assessing the entire fuel delivery path, not just carburetor function. Finally, dynamic inspection matters. Panel resonance, door behavior over uneven surfaces, and drivetrain noise under load reveal issues that static inspection cannot capture. The Austin-Healey 3000 communicates its condition clearly when driven, if the evaluator knows what to listen for. Driving the Austin-Healey 3000 is defined by torque and immediacy rather than balance or subtlety. Once underway, the engine delivers strong acceleration with minimal effort, particularly in the mid-range. Steering is heavy at low speeds and remains deliberate even when moving. Feedback is present but filtered by chassis flex and suspension compliance. Precision is secondary to stability. Ride quality is firm and often busy. The car reacts clearly to road imperfections, transmitting surface texture directly into the cabin. Long journeys demand tolerance rather than comfort. Braking performance varies by generation. Early drum brake cars require significant anticipation, while later disc-equipped models offer improved consistency but still demand restraint. At speed, the Austin-Healey 3000 feels stable and confident. Wind, noise dominates, but the drivetrain settles into a strong, steady rhythm. Overdrive transforms the car's long-distance behavior. Engaged at cruising speed, it reduces engine strain and noise, allowing the 3000 to function as a capable touring machine rather than a purely aggressive roadster. The driving experience rewards assertive inputs. Smoothness is less important than commitment. Hesitation disrupts the car's balance more than decisive action. Delivery experience in period context assumed familiarity with mechanical behavior. Owners were expected to accept noise, vibration, and physical effort as inherent aspects of performance. The Austin-Healey 3000 is not subtle, and it was never intended to be. It is a car built around engine capacity, structural simplicity, and emotional immediacy. Its significance lies in its honesty. The 3000 delivers exactly what its engineering promises: strength, durability, and visceral engagement, without pretense or refinement.